As you know, Michael Pearce was murdered on the 7th of February last year, and then the offenders drove out on the Adelaide Plains to dump his body in the early hours of the morning. We had made an appeal to the public for information leading to the identity of some people who had helped to free the offenders when their vehicle had become bogged during that process. I'm very happy to say that the people who freed the offenders from the bog have come forward, and we've now spoken to 2 men, and we know exactly where that location is, but for operational reasons we can't disclose it at the moment. The investigation over the last couple of days has been continuing to progress very well. We now have a clear understanding of those people who were involved. We're certain of some of the time frames. We know that on the second morning that the offender left home at about 3:15, and they were removed from the bog a few minutes before 7:38 a.m. Today we've come to search this house on Coleman Road. The premises is occupied by a close relative of one of the offenders, and it's important I emphasise to you all that the people who own this property have absolutely nothing whatsoever to do in this crime, and it's unfortunate today that they're being subject to this attention and the search at their property. We've had about 32 people here today conducting a search, looking for evidence. We know how Michael was killed and what was used to kill him, and today we've been looking for a couple of items associated with his death. Also a green floral rug that his body was wrapped into before being placed into the boot, and some other things. We've seized a number of items from the property, but we are unable to say whether those items will be related to the case. In the near future, we'll be conducting a number of other searches across the Adelaide Plains, where we will hope to find evidence connecting the offenders to the murder or find Michael. But today, unfortunately, we haven't found his body here. I can tell you the area where he was bogged and freed from the bog is about 30 to 35 kilometres, more over towards Port Wakefield Road. And as I say, in the coming days and weeks, there'll be a number of other searches. I'm happy to take questions.
How kind of spooked were those narratives who, now involved in a murder investigation?
Yeah, for us it's been a wonderful response by them. They saw us, they contacted us straight away, and we've spoken to them. What's even better is he actually sent somebody a text message at the time, which he still had about them. So they are very crystal clear memories of what these offenders look like and the conversations they had with them.
Are those suspects, did they lead back to the suspects you already had in your investigation?
We've got no doubt they're 2 of the principal offenders in Michael's murder.
You say principal, how many may be responsible?
We're also exploring the possibility that other people have either assisted in the disposal or possibly helped in a scene clean-up at the unit.
And is it that you need a body to make an arrest, or what are you waiting for?
No, we don't. There's lots of people in custody. The main offenders are in custody, so they don't present a risk at the moment, but we really want to have a comprehensive and a watertight brief when we move to an arrest, and I've got no doubt that this investigation's heading in the right direction, and we're looking forward to a good outcome.
And how important is his body to Michael's mum?
I mean, everybody can imagine what it would be like to have somebody murdered, and to never actually have a body that you can actually lay to rest would be just horrible. So we don't need to recover Michael's body to prosecute anybody, but obviously even after the arrest, if we shouldn't have the body, that'll be a major focus. The other thing that is very helpful to us is we have legislation that means that once these offenders are arrested and convicted, if they don't cooperate and provide the location of Michael's body, the parole board must never consider their release.
Have you been in contact with the family today, and how are they feeling?
We have victim contact officers allocated to the families of anybody who's the victim of a homicide, and either they or the investigating officers will maintain contact. Certainly in the short term, but even in the years to come.
It seems obviously that the search here has wrapped up today. Are you planning to return to this property already?
No, we're happy with how things have progressed today, and we've got several other locations that we'll need to search across the Adelaide Plains, so we'll do that in a time frame to suit the operation.
You've said you're looking for a green floral rug. Can you go into details with the other items you're looking for, including a murder weapon? What murder weapon are you looking for?
We know what was used to kill Michael, and there was two separate items. We know what they are, and we're looking for them, and it wouldn't be helpful if we were to disclose that to you. So really, we just need to keep that to ourselves for now.
Are they some of the items you believe you found today, though?
No.
Can you go into any details about what has been seized today at the property?
No, it wouldn't be proper for me to do that. But and as I say, we don't know whether it's anything relevant or not yet, so we won't know until things get tested.
Was there any indication that the body was taken to this property, or this property was involved in anything to do with the murder?
The investigators have got some pretty solid grounds as to why they want to search this property and the other locations. As I say, we'll do that over the coming days and weeks.
And two separate items, two different weapons, or?
Yeah, two different types of weapon.
But you can't be more specific?
No, I don't want to be more specific because that wouldn't help our investigation.
It's a bit windy, but I think at the start you mentioned two men you've spoken to in relation to the location of where...
No, there's three suspects who we believe were directly involved in the murder and played varying roles in the murder, but there's also other people who may have assisted in the scene clean-up or may have helped in the disposal of bodies. But there's definitely three people that we're looking at for this murder, as I say, the investigation's going extremely well.
Are they all men, those three?
Yes.
Okay, and two are in custody and one is not?
That's right.
And for unrelated matters, obviously.
That's right.
Yeah. And in terms of how confident are you that Michael's body is somewhere in the Adelaide Plains?
Extremely confident.
Last one, or
In terms of just at the start, you're hoping Good Samaritans will come forward and contact police. Has there been any update in relation to that?
Yeah, we made the appeal for the vehicle that was bogged, and we had a person come forward, and that led to the identification of another man, and so we've spoken to two people who've come forward to assist, and they've been a tremendous help.
Yeah, how helpful was that?
They're extremely helpful because they're the two people that helped remove the offenders from the bog, and they're able to provide very good information which will help the investigation significantly.
And what sparked them coming forward? Just the public appeal, I suppose?
Yeah, the public appeal, and they've come forward straight away.
you mentioned the owners of this property were involved in the crime, but is there any reason they felt that there might be?
The owners?
Yeah.
No, the owners have absolutely nothing. The owners have nothing to do with crime, and I would have thought that if the people here knew that something bad had happened on their property, they would have told us. So they've got absolutely nothing to do with it, and they're really a victim in all of this.
They're obviously innocent, but do they know the possible suspects?
Yes. Yep.
Can you tell us a little bit about how far away the other sites that you might be searching are in this area?
Up to 35 kilometres away.